We reported on those earthquakes in Texas, felt in and around Dallas. Well, tonight, word of yet another one. Now, 11 earthquakes in just the last 24 hours.
And some news just in. The death toll from earthquake in Nepal has reached 1,457 people. The quake with a magnitude of 7.9 is the strongest to have hit the country in over 80 years. It reduced residential areas and centuries-old temples to rubble in Kathmandu. The quake struck before noon to the northwest of the capital. The shock waves also reached India, Bangladesh, and China.
Residents of eastern Japan have experienced torrential rain that's caused massive flooding and landslides. At least 3 people died and 15 others are missing. A levee on the Kinugawa River, about 60 kilometers north of Tokyo, collapsed on Thursday. More than 6,000 homes in Ibaraki Prefecture's Joso city were flooded. Rescue crews are evacuating people from the flood zone using helicopters and boats.
Columbia, South Carolina alone, this is not statewide, this is just in the capital city, they have received about 20 inches of rain since Friday afternoon. To put that into perspective, Greensboro only gets about 40 inches of rain a year. That's how much Columbia has received since Friday afternoon, so less than 3 days' time. Yesterday alone, the state capital received roughly 7 inches of rain. That is a new record, according to the National Weather Service.
It's flooding like they have never seen before, and the problems are just beginning for people in Columbia, South Carolina. They are seeing record rainfall, historic flooding, and it's forcing most of the city to shut down because roads are either too dangerous to pass or just washed away.
7.7 magnitude earthquake hitting northeastern Afghanistan, felt hundreds of miles away in Pakistan and India. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you what's going on right now and give you some historical context. That's the portion of the country. But remember, this is triangulating Pakistan, India, Afghanistan.
The National Weather Service is predicting continued historic flooding this week across Missouri and portions of Illinois. Torrential rains over the recent days caused the Mississippi River to swell to record levels not seen since the early 90s and has left 20 people dead.
Breaking news story, this one out of Missouri, where 18 million Americans are bracing for what has been described as historic and dangerous flooding. 16 counties in Missouri are currently under flood warnings, including the area where the Missouri and Mississippi rivers meet, leaving many in need of rescue and preparing for more of an onslaught as the waters threaten hundreds of homes. At least 20 deaths over the last several days blamed on the flooding.
As we come on the air at this hour, a winter storm is raging, disrupting lives and turning deadly. 60 million people in the storm's path. On the streets, man versus Mother Nature. The snow blowing straight across, coming down fast, up to 4 inches an hour. The coast hit especially hard. Take a look at that. Rivers of ice taking over streets along the Jersey Shore. The region at a standstill, not a soul at Reagan Airport. Major highways shut down in several states. Thousands of people stranded in cars and trucks, some people overnight.
Unless it is truly an emergency, you should not be on the road. Travel is now banned, and the reason we're doing that is to protect people.
The snow still coming down strong tonight, exceeding expectations. On track to become one of the top 5 snowstorms on record here in New York City, and no let-up expected for hours.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. That big earthquake that woke most of us up today at 1:30 in the morning was a magnitude 7.1. It shook all of south central Alaska and was even felt far into the interior, all the way up to Fairbanks.
Frost in a place known more for its flowers. Hong Kong saw record low temperatures over the last few days, accumulating ice, trapping hikers on one of the city's famous mountain trails. Dozens were treated for hypothermia in the coldest weather the city has experienced in decades, and Hong Kong wasn't alone. Across Asia, we've seen bitter winter weather, nowhere hit harder than in Taiwan. State media there reported at least 85 people, most of them elderly, died from hypothermia or cardiac conditions likely caused by the frigid air. This weekend was a day of weather firsts for many in East Asia. Just ask these school kids gingerly stepping through snow on the Japanese island of Amami Oshuna. No one who lives on the island has ever seen it snow there before because it's the first time it's happened in 115 years.
It's not exactly what you'd expect to see on your morning commute. A massive sinkhole has shut down parts of Highway 101 in Oregon, backing up traffic and closing down several local businesses. Oregon has been plagued by heavy rains in recent months, and authorities say that has triggered erosion around the region. But they are still uncertain exactly what caused the collapse on Highway 101.
Now let's recap our breaking story. A powerful earthquake in southern Taiwan. It had a magnitude of 6.7. It was centered 43 kilometers southeast of Tainan, a city of 2 million people. The quake, based on initial reports, was shallow, which means the damage and destruction could be more. These are some of the early pictures we're getting on social media. That building clearly tilted on the side. A lot of damage. We're trying to find out if anyone was hurt.
Hopefully, the aftershocks would not be as strong as the magnitude 6.4 quake that toppled many buildings. In fact, 7 buildings in the city of Tainan alone.